Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Indiana State Police Roadshow. I'm your host, Sergeant John Perrine, the Public Information Officer from the Indianapolis District. The State Police Roadshow is brought to you by the Indiana State Police Alliance and Cops for Kids, a subsidiary of the Indiana State Police Alliance. For more information about our sponsor, you can visit their website at www.indianasfinest.com. My guest today from the Indiana State Police recruiting section is Sergeant Roosevelt Williams. Sergeant Williams, thanks for coming.
Hey, thanks for having me, John.
So when we think about recruiting within the state police, a lot of times we think only troopers, but we know that there's far more civilian positions within our agency, or at least equal amount to troopers. So
Tons
that's just as important. And they are absolutely the backbone of our agency.
They range from a variety of different positions on our department. And I tell folks that they are the backbone of our agency. Without them, I don't know where we would be at.
Yeah, incredible support. What types of civilian positions do we offer?
Right, and it ranges. So we talked about maintenance, repair, auto mechanics, the folks that install equipment on our cars, the decals, secretaries at the district, secretaries at our laboratory division, forensic scientist jobs. So tons of different jobs within our agency. Yeah,
and every corner of the state. So no matter where you live, if you're looking for a job, there is a civilian opportunity with the Indiana State Police.
Correct. So we currently open 4 jobs right now, and they from down south up to the northern part of the state.
Yeah, so that's interesting. A lot of people are wondering, well, how do we get there? How do I find out if the state police is hiring and what they're hiring for?
Right. So I'll back up just a little bit. Okay. When we would go to career fairs and job fairs, we realized that state troopers not for everyone. So we do offer a variety of different civilian jobs throughout the entire states. So don't be discouraged and say, I don't want to be a police officer, but come up and see what type of civilian jobs we have as well, and how to get to those civilian jobs. So we used to go to the state personnel department to get to our civilian jobs, and now we relocated that to our website. Excuse me. So if you go to our website and then you click on career opportunities, you'll see civilian opportunities.
That's great, and it makes it a little simpler for everybody to find.
It's a lot simpler.
Yeah, because I know that I was a part of kind of advertising some of those older jobs, and it got quite difficult sometimes.
It did go into so many different steps with a different agency.
So we're hoping that the ease of this will increase our applications that we're receiving.
And so what we've seen so far is dramatically increase our applicants.
And that's great. And so there are jobs for every skill set, every level. Different income, salaries, different benefits,
right.
But they're all great jobs.
Right. And so some of those jobs that we talked about, including, you talk about finance, we have a fiscal department, a logistics department. So different departments within our agency, all of them have civilian jobs.
Yeah, and again, some civilian jobs require a college degree or specialized training, and some civilian jobs only require a high school diploma or even a GED.
Right. So most of your entry-level jobs are going to just require a high school diploma or GED. Excuse me. Some of your jobs, like a forensic scientist, is going to require a bachelor's degree in certain type of classes to be taken to be considered for that position.
Yeah, and some of the benefits may differ from job to job, but we probably have a pretty standard package. So what are some of the benefits that people might see or receive if they were a civilian employee?
Right. So obviously you got your pay compensation, which varies from position to position, but also you got your health insurance, you got paid time off. Excuse me. Most of your non-essential jobs, you will have holidays off and weekends off. Some of those jobs may vary, like such as your dispatcher. They may work on weekends and holidays, but you get some of those different benefits as well.
Yeah, and so people might think, well, I don't want to work holidays or whatever, but there is a benefit to that. If you work that holiday, you're compensated with oftentimes that's another day off, an added paid day off.
So as a salary employee, you get paid time off for that.
Yeah. So again, it's not like you just have to work it, and you do get a benefit to that.
Right. Absolutely.
And so yes, when somebody is thinking about looking for a job with the state police, and maybe they think, well, I don't know anything about the position. Do we offer the training that they need?
Right. Most of your jobs we will give you the training for. Some will require you to come in. Excuse me.
You're okay.
Got a little tickle in the throat. Most of the jobs we'll train you for if need be. So such as, say, you don't have any mechanics experience. Well, we will train you. We have veteran mechanics that can train you in those type of positions. Some of your skill, more technical position as a forensic scientist, we're looking for you to have some type of experience or certain type of classes taken in that particular field.
Yeah. And, some of our jobs, we're looking for some military experience. I just saw a job posted from the Fusion Center about a data analyst.
Right.
And one thing that is beneficial in that job is military experience.
Intelligence is correct. And that position, like I said, and it ranges, is in our Fusion Center. So we're currently hiring right now for two of those positions as well.
Okay, so civilian jobs, they're out there. You can go to the state police website, www.in.gov/ISP. And on the left-hand side of the webpage there, you'll see career opportunities.
Right.
Look for civilian jobs, and we post everything right there. How to apply, what's open, and how often do we open those jobs?
Generally speaking, we open them at least twice a month. And if you go to that website, I would encourage you to check it frequently. And maybe the first time you go to it, you may not see a job that you're particularly interested in.
Yeah.
Check back on, a couple of days. Generally speaking, we would open them on a Wednesday, or if not a Wednesday, a Friday.
Yeah, and then they stay open for 10 days or so?
So we kind of changed that. So one of the other changes that we made when we switched over, generally open, they probably stay open now about 15 days now.
Okay, great. Gives people plenty of time to be notified and get the application in. And so to begin the process, all you have to do is fill out the online application, right?
Right.
And then somebody will contact you.
So first, I will talk about briefly on how you can get that notification on when we are accepting a new position. Is all our public information officers. If you follow any of the Twitter, Facebook, or the state police on either one of those, we're starting to push it out more on social media to include in the different job boards. So if you follow any of those and follow our public information officer or ISP recruiting, that's where we'll push out when those openings are if you didn't want to check back every day.
Mm-hmm.
But once you go to our application, you must download it currently using Internet Explorer with the program that we're currently using. So once you download it and complete that application, and then you'll send it back to us via email. And that email address is ispcivilianjobs.isp.in.gov.
Okay, so ispcivilianjobs@isp.in.gov to email that, and all the instructions are right there on the website, so you don't have to write this down.
And we have broken it down into several steps. If you need Internet Explorer, we got the link to download that. If you need Adult Reader, we have the link to download that.
Yeah.
My contact information on there, as well as our personnel department, Brandon Lowe.
Okay, great. And I know as people are in the job shopping portion of their life, whether they're young, old, job change, whatever that may be, the first thing they look at is pay. I would encourage you to look at the big picture, see everything that's involved, because there are some benefits, to include a retirement.
Right, and I was just talking to some young adults at Career 31 at Ben Davis about the big picture. Yeah, you can go and, as a mechanic, make $50 at, GMC. Yeah. I'm just guessing.
Right.
But big picture is we have a pension over here.
Yeah.
So are you really, here in GMC, you may have to put away every month for your retirement.
Yeah.
Where we offer a retirement plan.
And some people might not understand the difference between a pension and like a retirement plan, like a 401k or whatever. And so, pension is guaranteed money.
Guaranteed, and it's not money that you have to put into it like you would.
Right. And so how many years does a civilian have to work before they can retire and draw that pension?
I will have to look at that to verify that information. I don't want to mislead
20 or 25 years probably to get the full pension.
Generally speaking.
Yeah. So, but, so interesting enough is all these civilian positions, but also trooper position. There might be people out there looking to pursue a career in law enforcement.
Right.
Where do they start if they want to?
Well, they start as becoming a civilian employee.
Yeah.
We always say you can jumpstart your law enforcement career by becoming one of our civilian employee. Whether you become a mechanic and work till you're at least 20 years old, dispatcher. Those are the type of jobs that you can start off with as you begin to transition to becoming a trooper. And what that does also is your supervisor more than likely will be a trooper. And what greater person to write you a letter of recommendation than a trooper? So I encourage you, young adults that are looking to become a trooper, hey, get a job with the state police as a civilian employee until you're eligible. Yeah,
great advice. So if you're in high school now and you think maybe you want to pursue a career in law enforcement, but college might not be in the cards for you, military isn't of an interest to you, a civilian job with the state police, and then when you turn 20 or 21, you can apply to be a trooper.
Right. And so most of the civilian basic requirement is a high school diploma and at least 18 years old. So as long as you meet those, you graduate, there's opportunities within the state police. Like I said, we open up civilian job quite frequently.
Yeah, and it's really not uncommon for us to hire a civilian employee into a trooper position.
This last process, I think we had upwards of 6 or 7 of our current dispatchers in the process, so it's not uncommon.
Yeah, and another nice thing about dispatch is the dispatchers are the heart of every district, and they learn so much about the trooper job that becoming a dispatcher will give you a leg up when you get out there.
Especially when you get to the academy, learning all the 10 codes and signal codes.
Just that alone, your counselor comes up behind you and says, what's 1023? You're not going to I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's a great way to transition to become a trooper, and we anticipate a hiring process earlier than what we normally do. Normally, we do a winter hiring process. We anticipate a fall hiring process this year.
Okay. Is that an earlier start on the academy next year? Is that the goal?
Right. So nothing set in stone, but we anticipate the academy starting possibly in April or May of next year.
Okay, great. So high school, college grads, I guess more so college grads, if you're looking for a career with the state police, start looking around August for that application. And they can submit a pre-application right now, correct?
So if you go to our same website and go to career opportunities, and if you click on state trooper, that very first link on that page is to be notified to receive notification for the next hiring process.
Yeah, so that's quite simple. All you got to do is put your name in. There's no obligation.
Right.
If by the time that comes around, you've got another job, you just hit delete on that email. And you
basically, I sent an email and said, hey, we accept application for the 80th recruit class. So this is our opportunity to submit your application.
Yeah, I can tell you that in 16 years as a state trooper working for this agency, I feel like I made the right career choice. Not just as a trooper, but, we're just a family. Everybody understands, and whether you're civilian or sworn, it doesn't matter. Working for the Indiana State Police is quite a rewarding experience. And
it kind of work hand in hand. When you talk about family, we work hand in hand with each other in everything that we do.
Yeah, and when I mentioned family, Sergeant Williams here, it's definitely a family business for him. His father is a major on the department, and he came through the academy, and his twin brother, is also on the department.
Right, so. Went through the same time.
Yeah, it made it quite confusing for the instructors and counselors out there, because it's an identical twin brother.
It actually made it a lot easier on us, because they didn't know who to yell at.
Yeah, but one of them's right-handed and one of them's left-handed, but don't ask me which is which, because I can't see his gun right now.
Right.
Yeah, so anyway, again, the civilian jobs across the state. But if you're interested in one of the science jobs, we have some specific labs. We have a lab in Fort Wayne, a lab in Lowell, a lab in Indianapolis, and a lab in Evansville. Is that correct?
Correct.
And so if you're looking for one of those science jobs, the DNA, the fingerprint analysis, those things you see on TV that seem real interesting, those are the areas where you might be working.
Right. And if you go to our homepage, and if you click on the laboratory division, kind of gives you a brief description of each of those job descriptions that's offered in those particular fields as well.
So somebody might call you as a recruiter and say, hey, I want to be a crime scene investigator. Well, our crime scene investigators are sworn troopers,
right?
But maybe they want to do DNA analysis or something like that. As a recruiter, can you help them pick college majors and things like that for those positions?
I can, but I oftentimes refer them to our forensic department, who has a little bit more knowledge, and they know what they're looking for and what particular classes. So right now, I can tell you we had over 100 people apply for our forensic DNA job. So what they're doing now is they're comparing apples to apples as far as transcript, classes taken, and what they're looking for. So I oftentimes refer them back to that particular division to get in a better insight.
Yeah, definitely a popular career path. I've been to the career fairs, and that's what the kids really want to talk about.
The last
they
one
don't they don't necessarily have a desire to be a police officer, but they want to be the crime scene investigator.
Right, and that's why I encourage you, come up and talk to us. We still have other jobs within our department.
Yeah.
But now, oftentimes, we're starting to bring some of our lab personnel with us to career fairs and job fairs and because of that.
And they're so valuable. These lab personnel are solving huge crimes, and they're such a valuable piece of this investigative puzzle that puts it all together for us.
It's very critical, and we go back to that backbone of our agency, of our civilian employees.
Yeah, without the civilians, our cars wouldn't run. They wouldn't have decals on them, like you said. We wouldn't have radios. I was just talking, like I said, I was talking to the auto mechanic class at Ben Davis. And I said, I don't know much about cars. But I'm glad that we have people that do.
Right.
So, and I'll tell you, they're some of the hardest working people I've ever been around. They are. They're passionate about their jobs. So again, for information about careers with the Indiana State Police, you can visit our website at www.in.gov/ISP. The Indiana State Police Roadshow is brought to you by Indiana State Police Alliance, and Cops for Kids. You can find out more information about our sponsor at www.indianasfinest.com. And I want to thank my guests, Sergeant Roosevelt Williams, for coming in. We're talking ISP careers, both civilian and sworn, and we definitely appreciate your time. So thank you very much, and tune in next week.